But, and so I think, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but like with my mom, she's turning 80 this next year, like having her come in, sit down, and tell the story of her life would be so powerful. And I think I'm going to have to connect with you afterwards to get that set up, because think about my kids. My kids are all old enough. Most of her grandkids are old enough to know her. Her great grandkids, though, do not. No. And a lot of them may not get to have that relationship to know her. But I think in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, they go, yeah, who was great grandma Melody? Right? Like, that's cool.
And like, God willing, they'll have memories that last with her in the person.
Sure.
Yeah. You always want that, but sometimes things don't always go the way that you plan. That's the story of life. And so why not take the opportunity and have something that's preserved, something that will be timeless.
Right. And even if you have those moments in time, like on our last episode, I was talking about the voicemail I have of my dad.
Yeah.
That's a moment in time, like, and I have memories of my dad, but there's still something about being able to go back and listen to that voicemail and just be like, okay, yeah, like I heard his voice. Right. And that's I have a note, like my first Bible that I had that he gave me, I was 8 years old, and, you know, he wrote on the inside of the Bible and is like, you know, a little note and then a bunch of passages that were important that he thought were important. And so that's precious to me. The Bible has fallen apart. I kept that inside leaf because it's awesome that he wrote me this note. It's great to go back and go, oh yeah, this passage was meaningful to my dad. And then just kind of read it through again. So those are great. But reading his handwriting is cool, but it doesn't encapsulate him as hearing his voice, which is different than when you go back and watch an old video that catches him. So like just even how much more where we have a video, you could put together a video where your audio is high quality, and then the conversation is intentional.
And we were talking about this last episode as well. And it's one of those really small human intricacies, but it's like humor. How many forms of humor can you convey through a note? You have a lot, but it's still more limited than when someone's actually speaking. Just the way that they say the words that they have, the pauses, the breaks, the thoughtfulness. There is so much more weight.
Oh, for sure. I was watching a lady on Instagram the other day, and her whole thing is micro expressions, and just how like just a small twinge in a face on the certain parts of your face and what that's signaling to other people. And the part that's funny is like, we pick up on it. We don't realize that we're doing it, and we don't realize we're picking up on it.
Yeah.
But that's why they say like 90% of communication is nonverbal. Because so much of it just happens naturally that we're giving social cues and picking up on social cues in a way that's not even conscious.
Yeah. Well, this is my linguistics background coming up a little bit. But as you may mention, the majority of human communication is in body language. But after that, you're still not getting to semantic word values. You then actually get into the intonation of the words themselves. Like the way that you say hello can have a million different meanings. You know, you have hello versus hello. Different vibe, different meaning. Then you have like connotations where the different word choices that you have, they might have equivalent semantic value, which is to say, if you look them up in a dictionary, they mean the same thing. But there's a different connotative value, which is what they're implying. You go down 4 or 5 levels, then you finally have textbook definitions of these words and what they actually mean. And when you're passing on notes, they can still be beautifully valuable, but you're missing 95% of the message just by the nature of the medium.
Yeah. I know this hasn't been a focus of your business, but I think on a personal level of the value that brings, it is something that you should think about adding that in as a tab to your business. Cause I mean, it fits right with what you're doing.
Yeah. I was at a house party on Sunday and someone made a flippant remark, and cause they were a sibling, I was going to be a little bit crass and demean them, but I got thinking about it like, oh no, it's actually a really good idea. I know a few people who might be interested. And so that's how those conversations started.
Yeah. Yeah. It's valuable. It's valuable for more than just the business that we promote, like different businesses that you might promote or whatnot. So